So we kind of have a similar story about trying to become a Bernie delegate.
Yeah, we do. That's cool.
We were kind of
yeah.
Well, I was kind of blocked by the party.
Not kind of blocked. You were blocked.
I was blocked.
You were blocked.
I filled out my registration. Then they came back and they said, "No, you didn't."
Yeah. So you didn't get to the point that I got to.
You need to re-register.
You didn't get to the point that I got to, which was to actually run and then discover that the whole thing was rigged. It was opaque. It wasn't transparent. They could have everything about that election process. They had the show of democracy, and now I call it the undemocratic party. And this is why it's just not democratic, as I've said many times. You would think the name of the party should be an indication of how it would be run, but it's not.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm still on the side of trying to reform this Democratic Party. Michael leads the question here of, it may feel embodied primarily the Democratic Party of the party that could resist GOPism or Republicanism, especially Trump. But what led you to the Green Party, and what are some of the values there that you saw?
Well, the Green Party has 10 core values. The first 4 are what they call the pillars. The first one is ecological wisdom, which I think is great because it puts us into the community, respect for the community of life. And then social justice. This is what the Democratic Party is supposed to be about, and maybe used to be about, especially when FDR was president. But has fallen pretty short because they too just listen to Wall Street and the corporations. Then there's grassroots democracy, which is what does democracy mean? It means the rule of the people. And that goes back to Article 21C of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. That's very clear. The United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights came out in December 10th, 1948. Eleanor Roosevelt was the force behind that to a great extent. People don't know about it very much. But Article 21C says very clearly, the will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. And this is true universally all over the world. And of course, it's an ideal that we have to live up to. And America's done a good job of moving toward it, but we're not there yet. Having been overseas for 20 of the 28 years that I was in the Foreign Service, I look at the United States sort of as a foreigner. I look at it from the outside. I see what it looks like externally. And I see the beautiful and the glorious things, and I see the problems and the faults as well. And coming back here, being in that sham election that they had to send delegates to be a Bernie delegate at that convention, that was what opened my eyes to the problems with the Democratic Party.
You're overseas, and I'm sorry, this is a left field question, but you see the world as a foreigner. A lot of foreigners who love the idea of America, a lot of that was our cultural export. And I guess my question is, are we overweight Elvis right now?
Are we overweight Elvis right now?
Have we turned into that?
The answer is yes and no.
Yeah, we have
some of us are, but look at the kids. Look at those kids down in Florida.
Yes.
I mean, that's what gives me hope. Keep this in mind, Aaron. 50,000 people in this district voted for Bernie Sanders. I'm one of the 50,000 people who voted for Bernie Sanders. Their voice is not represented in the halls of Congress. And so I looked around and I thought, well, surely someone's going to stand up and do this, and nobody did. So I just decided, well, if nobody's going to do it and I don't do it, nobody will do it. So that's why I'm sitting here talking to you.
Well, the Green Party's got a lot of candidates out rolling early this year, and they've.
Well, the Green Party doesn't take corporate money, so we don't have a lot of money. And when you get into this, you discover that money is necessary for a lot of things. For example, there's 11 counties in this district. Bernie won 10 of the 11 counties. Let that sink in. Bernie won 10 of the 11 counties. He beat Hillary Clinton by almost 5,000 votes, a little bit less. So in order to get your candidate statement, I spent a lot of time today doing that. In order to get your candidate statement on the voter's guide, it costs money. In Shasta County, it costs $3,000. In Butte County, it costs $1,091. In Modoc County, it costs $637.
About 10 grand for all of them.
Yeah. That's just to get your candidate's statement of qualifications into the voter's guide, okay? So, and I'm doing this sort of self-funded. I have a website, and people are giving me money in the $27 dribs and drabs of Bernie. But Bernie, in the military, they've got a phrase, POP, proof of principle. And Bernie proved through this proof of principle that it can be done. You don't have to be beholden to all of these corporations. It's not necessary.